with Jeff Sneider.
What's the deal with Universal's monster movie universe? The UMMU, or the UMU, if you will. The studio is entrusting its ambitious master plan, which The Wrap has told you about before, to Alex Kurtzman and Chris Morgan, the latter of whom is the mastermind behind Universal's lucrative Fast and Furious franchise. Alex Kurtzman, on the other hand, is more or less a symbol of everything that's currently wrong with Hollywood's tentpole system, though I do blame his former writing and producing partner Roberto Orci a little bit more than him for some strange reason. Maybe it's because Kurtzman directed People Like Us, and while that movie wasn't very good, it at least showed that he has more on his mind than generic blockbuster crap. So what is the UMMU? Universal wants to take all of its classic monsters and put them in the same sort of movie franchise. I'm talking Dracula, the Wolfman, the Mummy, Frankenstein, and maybe his bride, the Invisible Man, and the Creature from the Black Lagoon. Now, even though it's still without a director, The Mummy is going to be first up. It's due in April 2016. And the upcoming Dracula Untold, which stars Luke Evans as a warrior who sacrifices his mortality to save his people, is a standalone film that's not going to be part of the UMMU. Now, Kurtzman and Morgan aren't necessarily writing or directing any of these movies, but they're serving as the creative godfathers of the UMMU, which begs the question of why studios are scrambling to hire architects of these universes. Marvel has Joss Whedon, Warner Brothers has David Goyer for its DC Comics cinematic universe, and Simon Kinberg oversees Fox's Marvel movies, such as the Fantastic Four and X-Men series. But is having a godfather a good thing, or does it lead to a myopic and flawed development process? I mean, the playlist called the UMMU Follow the Pack thinking, and for now I'm inclined to agree. And while it remains to be seen which directors are going to be bringing these movies to the big screen, are exciting auteurs such as Guillermo del Toro and Nicholas Winding Refn, are they going to want to work within the parameters of a pre-established universe with, defined rules and all that jazz? I don't know. Now, there are two major problems that the UMMU could run into. First of all, these movies should be set in present day, or at least in the last 100 years. I don't want to see these characters in Victorian London again, or some other, time period. Enough with the horse-drawn carriages and the lanterns bobbing through the moonlit woods. I mean, the costume budget on these movies should not be more than the fake blood budget. Kurtzman and Morgan, they need to find a way to update these characters and bring them into the worlds that we recognize and relate to. But yeah, don't be afraid to introduce a cell phone or some technology. I mean, if there really was a monster on the loose stalking a city, it would probably be trending on Twitter and Facebook before the police even acknowledged its existence. The next is the tone of these movies, because you know what? They're supposed to be horror movies. They're supposed to be scary. Enough with the four-quadrant fun for the whole family tentpoles. Young kids should be left at home when it comes to the UMMU. I want to feel terror and fright and panic, something that is going to stay with me as I drive home from the theater. The studio could stand to embrace the darkness that has worked so well for Warner Brothers' Batman franchise, which had a real edge to it. So I wish Morgan and Kurtzman both the best of luck. They just may need it to deliver the goods that us true genre fans deserve. Until next time, this has been What's the Deal with Jeff Sneider. You can follow me on Twitter at @TheInSneider, and thanks for reading TheWrap.com.
What's the deal with Jeff Sneider?